Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming to watch this video. I'm going to show you two different delicious chocolatey treats today. The first one we're going to do is Tootsie Roll, and then we're going to move on to the caramel-filled chocolate EOS. So you will need Tootsie Roll, and you know Halloween is coming up, so maybe you guys will get lots of Tootsie Rolls in your bag of candies, and you will need an EOS lip balm container. So I have mine in the background here, and it's all cleaned out, already separated into 3 pieces. And here we go, we're chopping up this delicious chewy Tootsie Roll, and we're going to be putting it in the microwave. So you want to make sure, because this is soft candy, it's not going to take long to microwave. I usually do about 10 to 15 seconds, but I always keep an eye on it. And I'm just cutting it up here so it does melt easier. And just make sure you guys have adult supervision with you if you're using a knife to cut this up, and when you're microwaving, as it does get hot. So now that you have your candy ready, you're going to get your EOS lip balm container ready. So this is one of the most important things, I think, to make this work, is you want to spray it with a little bit of oil, or some of you have been asking about butter. For sure that will work. So anything that's oily, that's going to help your candy just slip right off there. It will stick depending on the candy. I did gummy bears and it does stick, so the lid didn't even come off, so you want to make sure that you remember to do that. So here's our delicious Tootsie Roll all microwaved, and again, this maybe took 15 seconds, you guys, so really watch out because it does microwave fairly fast. Be careful because it's hot, so I have a stick here and I'm just going to drip in that ooey gooey delicious Tootsie Roll, and it's going to be so good when it's done, you guys. So we're just going to drip it in there. You're going to put on the middle piece. So this is the top of the lid for those that don't know how to do this. So we're pouring it into the top. I'm just balancing it in the bottom right now. And then we're going to put the middle piece on once this part is full. So at this point I'm thinking, man, I should have microwaved more Tootsie Roll. Not that I don't have enough, I have that massive one. But again, just make sure that you guys have enough, and it is easy to microwave more, obviously. So I'm scraping the last little bit that I have to put it on the top. So this is how the top of the EOS, the round part, attaches to the actual container. So I'm just pushing it in there just to make sure that there's no air bubbles, and again, just to make sure that it sort of glues to the section that we poured in prior to this. Okay, awesome. So once you guys are happy with your product of the melted Tootsie Roll, you're going to put it in the fridge or freezer. Not for long, actually. It won't take long to harden. So this is the after. It looks quite similar to the before, of course. And you're just going to snap on the bottom. And here we go. This should take no effort at all. Just open that up and look at that delicious Tootsie Roll EOS. Yum, 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 yum. So this is fresh out of the fridge, so it is hard, but it will soften up to the point of a Tootsie Roll. So it's a delicious treat that's easy to make and, you know, just really fun to do. Okay, so moving on to the caramel-filled chocolate. So I have my milk chocolate chips here, and my fall-inspired, they're pumpkin spice caramels. So we're going to try this out and see if it works. Most important thing is to spray your EOS so that your chocolate does not stick, and then we're going to go ahead and put some milk chocolate chips in a microwave bowl and then melt it. And again, just making sure that you guys really watch this, as it's kind of hard to tell that chocolate chips don't melt because they kind of keep their shape for a long time. So don't just assume that it's going to turn into a puddle of chocolate. You really got to watch it and stir it frequently. So pouring this in, and I believe I put my top in the freezer first so that it hardened almost right away when I put it in there, because you want to have just the outside. So yeah, you want to put it in the fridge or freezer before. I can see that it's working here, so it's sticking. That's what you want. So again, what I'm trying to do here is just make kind of like a shell for the chocolate, because we're going to pour the caramel into that. Okay, so moving on to the inside of this EOS, which is going to be the pumpkin spice caramel. Now, you're going to see that at the end of the video, it's not exactly how I was hoping it would turn out. So what I would do, another option is to use caramel sauce. So something that you'd put over sundaes, I guess, and that would hopefully guarantee that the inside of your EOS would be a little bit more liquidy, whereas these ended up being quite hard. And it was still good, it's just not really the effect that I was going for. Okay, so pouring this stuff in until it's all full, and you'll see that I put this in the fridge or freezer again. I don't know if you can tell, it's hard, but again, just to keep the shape of the shell. So pouring the caramel in shouldn't melt it, and immediately put it back in the fridge or freezer. Now, this is where I put the middle piece on. If you have a little bit too much candy above the middle point, it might be harder to put on, so just watch that. So you're gonna put that on, and then now you're gonna pour more chocolate on top. Another little tip, now that I've done this, before you put the middle piece on, I would actually cover the caramel with chocolate so that when you pour this chocolate on, it actually sticks better. So when I took off the lid for this one, it actually all came apart because the chocolate couldn't quite stick to the caramel. So you want to make sure that you have a layer of chocolate over top of the caramel before you put the middle piece on so that everything sticks together a lot better. Doesn't this just look so good? Yum, yum, yum. So once you're done that, you're gonna put it back in the fridge or freezer to make sure that it's hard. So here we go, this is after the fridge. And just snap that bottom up, make sure that or I should say snap it on, and make sure that the flat pieces are lined up. It should be pretty easy. And then carefully open it up. And there we go. And I think my chocolate may have still been a little bit melted, so you want to make sure, again, that this is nice and hard. And so one thing, like I was mentioning before, that I wasn't too happy with was that the caramel stayed really hard. So here I am scraping off the chocolate, and I think I just eventually sucked it off just to show you how hard the caramel was. So again, I think it might be interesting to try caramel sauce and see if that creates a better caramel-filled EOS. Thanks so much for coming to watch this video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you guys do so and keep those comments coming. Thanks, you guys.